Hello my beautiful friends, and welcome back to another video. I hope you've been keeping so very well. Welcome to the last video in this kitchen. Today, as the last video in this, I wanted to do the first video of a new kind of video concept where I share with you my favorite nourish bowl recipes. It's no secret that I really enjoy having nourish bowls for lunch or for dinner. I really like having a nice balanced plate. It makes me feel really good. It tastes really good, and it's just an overall nourishing, beautiful time. And so I thought I would start a new kind of video series where I share with you my current favorite nourish bowl recipes that are really balanced and really delicious, and that I think you will really enjoy. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 different nourish bowl recipes. We're going to have a marry me chickpea cauliflower bowl, a sweet chili tofu bowl, as well as a brown rice and black bean Mexican inspired bowl. These are 3 of my go-tos recently that I really enjoy, and I hope you'll love them as much as I do. To make this delicious sweet chili tofu, I start by cutting up half of a block of firm tofu into some cubes, and then I transfer these tofu cubes into a bowl. Into the bowl I also add in some corn flour as well as some vegan chicken stock powder, and then I toss this all together until the tofu is nice and well coated. Then I'm going to transfer this into a hot pan with some hot oil and get the tofu nice and crispy, making sure to flip it over so it gets nice and crispy on each side. Then I'm also starting to prep some fresh ingredients, so cutting up some red cabbage, which I'm cutting really finely, and then I'm also cutting up a cucumber, which I am slicing and then dicing into some small pieces. Really, you can cut it however you like. I continue frying up the tofu, and then I'm also going to put some quinoa on to cook, which I'm just cooking with some water over the heat, and continuing to fry up that delicious tofu. Into a large salad bowl, I'm putting in the cucumber, red cabbage, as well as some fresh greens. I'm also adding in some vegan mayonnaise as well as some fresh lime juice, and then I'm going to toss this all together and get all of this salad nice and well coated with that mayo and lime juice mixture. Into a separate little bowl, I add some sweet chili sauce as well as some agave and some fresh lime juice, and I mix this all together. Once it's well mixed, I'm going to transfer it and pour it over that tofu, reducing the heat to low and coating the tofu really well with this sweet chili lime sauce. When it comes to serving this delicious nourishing bowl, we start with that quinoa, then add on that salad mixture, top off with the sweet chili tofu, and then from there I'm also going to add on some fresh avocado as well as some fresh lime, and this is my delicious sweet chili tofu nourish bowl. I love this one so very much, and the sweet chili tofu is just such a staple that you can enjoy in so many different things. Before we get into the next recipe, I want to say a big thank you to my friends at Squarespace for making today's video possible. I'm always so grateful to be working with Squarespace, but I'm also just really grateful for Squarespace as a platform in general. I've been hosting my website with Squarespace for years upon years, and I genuinely just really love it so much, and it makes my workflow a lot easier. I've uploaded countless recipes to my website, which I host with Squarespace over the years, and it is so seamless and easy. And so I always genuinely recommend to anyone who's looking to start a blog, whether that be a food blog like myself or a blog for anything else, I always recommend using Squarespace because I find their blogging features to be just so functional, so easy, and so efficient to use. If you're ever looking to host or design your own website, I cannot recommend Squarespace enough. You can go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, you can go to squarespace.com/AmandaDux, and you can use my code, which is AmandaDux, which will get you 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. All right, let's get into the next recipe. This one is ridiculously delicious. To make this creamy cauliflower bowl, I start by first of all slicing some onion. I'm using a whole brown onion and slicing it finely, and then I'm also crushing 1 clove of garlic and again slicing it finely. I'm going to put some oil into my pan and then add in that onion and that garlic and start frying that up on a medium to high heat. Whilst that's frying, I cut up half of a head of cauliflower and I am cutting these florets into smaller size pieces, and I'm going to transfer this into the frying pan with the onion and the garlic. I'm also going to add in some sun-dried tomatoes, which you can cut to be smaller if you'd like to. I'm adding in some Italian herbs as well as some smoked paprika, and I am frying this all up and mixing it well together. From there, I'm then going to add in some water as well as some plant-based cream, and then I'm also adding in some veggie stock powder as well as some cracked black pepper and continuing to mix this all together. Then I'm adding in some chickpeas as well as some passata and continuing to once again mix it all together, putting the lid on to get it nice and bubbly, and then once it's like that, continuing to stir, reducing the heat to medium for a few minutes. Into a small bowl, I add in some couscous as well as some vegan butter, some veggie stock powder and some boiling water. I mix this together and then put a lid on top to leave that couscous to cook away. And then it's time to serve, so I put some couscous into the bowl. I then also am going to add in some fresh greens. I just love having fresh greens with a lot of different meals. Then I'm adding on this cauliflower chickpea creamy mixture, which is so delicious. And this is my Nourish bowl that I love so much. It's also a really good meal prep one, really hearty in the cooler months as well, and I hope you love it as much as I do. To make this beans and rice bowl, I'm going to start by putting some oil into a frying pan as well as some diced brown onion, and then I also put in the corn of 1 cob of corn, which I slice straight on into there and start frying up. Then I'm adding in some taco seasoning, which I am beginning to mix together before adding in a little bit of water to thin it out and ensure we are sticking to the pan in any capacity. And then also adding in some cooked brown rice as well as some black beans, and I am going to mix this all together with the rest of that corn and onion and taco seasoning. I'm going to cook this for about 3 to 5 minutes and then remove it from the heat. Whilst that's cooking, I prepped some guacamole. So I started with some avocado, which I sliced up, and then I also diced up some red onion to add in here as well. Love red onion in my guac so much. I also cut up some fresh cucumber, which I'm going to have in this Nourish bowl whilst I was there, and so I was getting nice and prepared to have that as well. And when it comes to the guac, I add the avocado into the bowl. I then also add in some fresh lime juice as well as the said diced red onion. I'm also going to add in some salt and some pepper, and then I'm going to start mixing this all together, mashing it all up so that we get a nice creamy and delicious guacamole. When it comes to serving, I add some fresh greens as well as the diced cucumber. Then I'm adding in this bean and rice and corn mixture, piling it all in there. Also adding some corn chips into this Nourish bowl, topping with the fresh guacamole, and this is just such a delicious and such an easy meal to prep. I've been loving this type of meal on repeat for quite a while now, and I definitely recommend giving it a go if you haven't done so already. Okay, that brings us to the end of this video, and those are 3 balanced Nourish bowls that I love so much. I really hope you enjoy eating these if you decide to make them at home, and as always, a big thank you so much for being here and supporting me and my YouTube channel. I appreciate it so very much. As I mentioned, this is going to be the last video in this kitchen. I'm moving into a new home next week, so I'm going to have a couple of weeks off from filming whilst I settle in and all that kind of stuff, but I look forward to seeing you in the fresh space with some fresh recipes, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Until then, have a beautiful day, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye!